Okay, so here we are. We need to determine whether or not these functions, these are indeed functions. See, f of x, f of x, f of x. We need to see if they're even functions or odd functions, or possibly neither. They're not going to be neither even nor odd. Now, notice that I did say all functions. Therefore, we do not need to check to see if they have x-axis symmetry, because if they have symmetry with respect to the x-axis, they're not functions, and we wouldn't be using function notation. So we're just going to be looking at the y-axis and the origin. So again, the y-axis is when y stays the same. So f of x is going to stay the same, and we're going to change x to be a negative x. I'm going to simplify that. Y equals, well, negative x times itself is a positive x squared. So we'll have 5x squared plus 1. That is the original equation. Let me just check to make sure that this does not have symmetry with respect to the origin. With respect to the origin, you're going to put a negative in for both. And I'm going to end up with negative y equals 5x squared plus 1. Now look, I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative. So when I multiply both sides by a negative, I get y equals the opposite of 5x squared minus 1, which is not the original equation. So this is an even function. Okay, let's try the next one. Y-axis symmetry, y stays the same. We're going to replace x with a negative and see what we get. Y equals negative times itself 3 times is a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. This is not the same as the original. It's the exact opposite. So this would be a no. So I'm just going to put my check mark or my X in a box so you don't think it's a variable. Probably bad notation for me to use, but it seemed good at the time. Okay, now we're going to see if it is an odd function. So I'm going to put a negative in for y and a negative in for x. Negative y equals negative 3x cubed plus x. I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative, which results in each term changing its sign. And I indeed end up with the original equation. Therefore, this function is an odd function. That looks like a bunch of O's, like, ooh. Let me make my D more noticeable. Odd function. Looks a little strange to me. Okay, you try the next one. Press pause, see what you get, and then come on back and check your answer. We're going to check for even, so y stays the same. I'm going to put a negative in for x. I get y equals negative 3x cubed minus 1, and that is not the same, so this is not even, and not even, not even. Then we're going to try odd, negative in for y, negative in for x, negative y equals negative 3x cubed minus 1, change every sign or multiply both sides by a negative, and this is not the exact same, so this is not the exact same, so this is neither even nor odd. So you'll see me write neither.